Hi folks, this is the second activity of week 3 in winter of 2026, the CAD course dealing with CATIA. What I like to do is generate this solid model, but in a crazy way, by creating the surfaces and then closing the surfaces to turn into a solid object. And the only reason I'm doing it this way is that in the class these days we're talking about generative shape design and surface creations, and therefore I want to go this very unusual way. All right. So because I'm going to be creating surfaces, I need to be in either generative shape design, or the cheap and the uh, stripped down version of generative shape design, which is called wireframe and surface design. I'm going to go to generative shape design, okay? Although the problem is simple enough that it makes absolutely no difference where you make. Okay, the strategy that I have is to create this front surface, like a C-shaped thing. And I'm going to make it without the hole, and you'll see why, without the circle, and then we're going to extrude it. Okay, so let me go there. Let me change the units to inches. So tools, options, parameters and measures, units tab. From millimeter, I'm going to change to inches. Okay, on that vertical plane, I will sketch. Okay, sketch that shape that you see there, that C that you see there. We'll dimension it later. For now, oops, cancel that. Not a good day. Because I want to make it nice and symmetric and minimize the amount of work that I do. I'm kind of meticulous on where I snap. If it's bothering you, just go make that thing. Now let's dimension these things. So for example, I want this outer dimension right now, it is 2. I want it to be exactly 2. The inner one, I want it to be 1. Okay. And this length to be 3 inches. There we are. Now, I'm not going to do this circle here. It's possible to do it like that too, but that's fine. Now we're going to extrude this. Extrude is find the surfaces right here. This is the standard extrude. Extrude. Select this. By how much? By 1. Good. Then I want to put a surface. I want to fill this area. So, for example, I can say fill. For the different ways of doing it, the fastest way probably would be this. You see this? Extract boundary. See the boundary? Boundary. And we want to extract the boundary and using a point continuity. Well, first of all, if I didn't have point continuity and say no preparation, when I select this edge, it will only do that edge. But if I want to make sure this goes all the way around, so I say point continuity or complete boundary, one or the other, and there we are. And then we say okay. So what we have here, we have created this boundary right there. If you want, I can hide that. There's the boundary, you can see that. It's a closed curve, and I can use the fill operation right there, fill. Select that boundary, and then we say, okay. I can do exactly the same thing on the other side. So let me go ahead and let me see, Well, let's actually try to see if we can fill without extracting the boundary. Yeah, we can do it like that too, no problem. So that sketch in the back, there we are. Boundary is something useful for doing other things too. Now, uh, what I want to do is to, this extrude is hiding. There we are. Okay. Now, on this, I want to draw a circle and later on make a hole. So, for example, let's do it like this. There are many ways of doing these problems. So on that, I'm going to sketch. Let me flip it. There, that's better for me. Draw a circle here. What was the radius of that circle? I believe it was 0.5. Okay. And I want to put exactly 1 inch. Let me see now. 1 inch or 0.5 inch. Actually, this is a mistake. Oh, 0.25, not 0.5. So, oh yeah, that's good. Diameter 0.5, radius 0.25. And I want to place it exactly 0.5 inches away from that edge. So from here to here. What is it? Is it there? Move this thing up so you can see it. I want this thing to be 0.5. Good. And I want this thing to be exactly halfway between top and the bottom. So of course you can put a dimension here, or you can select this, control that, control the center, and say constraints define dialog box, and then okay, the equidistant point, yeah, there. So it's exactly halfway. If I try to dimension this thing, of course I get a purple color because let me see that. From here to there, let me see. Can't dimension this thing because can I dimension from here to here? Yeah, it's going to be purple because already it's halfway point. Good. Now, let's exit this. So we have drawn a circle here, and then I can say, okay, can I split this? Can I cut it? It says, what is it that you want to cut? It's this surface that I want to cut. What is it you want to cut with? It's that I want to cut it with, and there. Okay, so let's see now. See that? It already cut it. You can see this, okay? And from this point on, there are different ways of doing it. For example, what I'm going to do is to make another circle, exactly same thing on the other side. So on that back face, I will sketch and let me flip this on this side. Can I project this circle? There we are. Okay. And why don't I, instead of drawing a circle, I just project that circle on it. So then I'm going to use the split. I have to exit this. We're going to do the split. Try it again. Split that face with this circle. So notice that what happened is that we have a hole there. Now, one possibility is to, for example, extrude this extrude this do is to extrude this circle by 1 inch, and there we are. So some of these things actually I can hide if I don't want to see it. I can hide this. I can hide that sketch. Some other stuff that I can hide. Hide. There we are. Now, assuming that there are no gaps in this on these seams, and there are none, I don't think so. What we can do is we go to part design, Where's the part design? Mechanical system part design. And there is an item called close right there on the surface-based features. There's something called close. It says, okay, object to close, and the object to close is this whole thing. Now, the only problem is that this whole thing does not include that curved surface. So what I can do is go back to generative shape design, and I can say join everything so it's a one single big piece. So let me see now. Can we select it like this? Everything is selected. Let me try again. Everything is selected, and then we say okay. Now we go to mechanical design, part design, go to close, select that join, and then we say okay. And notice that we can hide the join, and there we are. Oops. Okay, when I selected that, the inside face was not selected. Let's go back here and include that inside face also. Say okay. Yeah. Now go back to uh, hide this. There we are. Okay, when I joined these things, I didn't include that inside surface, so that's why when I closed it, it didn't see that. So as I said, this is a crazy way of doing this thing, but there we are. And there's so many different ways of achieving the same thing, even with these surfaces that are created. All right, folks, good luck.